Hi, I'm Ed Martin, Executive Vice President for North America for Eutechnyx. We are the developers of NASCAR 14 and NASCAR Manager. We're here in San Francisco, a game developer conference.
So what have you guys added new to the NASCAR franchise beyond the new publisher and Deep Silver for this year's game?
Yeah, a big part of the focus we went is really in two areas. Multiplayer is getting bigger and bigger and bigger every year, so we completely redid the back-end system for multiplayer. It works absolutely fantastic, so I think people that have played it before will really see a noticeable improvement in the lag and latency. It's really a lot of fun. Also, we completely redid the artificial intelligence this year, so sort of NASCAR's mode is boys have at it. That's what we did with the game. If you go out and you start rubbing against these cars, they're going to come after you. They actually retaliate in the game this time, so it's really a lot of fun.
Talk a little about, beyond the actual racing, the management that you guys have added to it.
Yeah, we've done that in two areas. We've gone a lot deeper in the career mode of the game. So you go in and you invest your resources in your team. We've taken that and we've also created a mobile game called NASCAR Manager, very similar, where you're playing team owner and crew chief and not actually racing the car, but investing the money, trying to win the race, win multiple Sprint Cup championships. So they were very related products, but not necessarily connected.
DLC is a big part of this franchise. Talk a little about how you guys are going to be expanding over the year.
Yeah, DLC is huge for us. We started last year with something called Inside Line Highlights, which we've renamed to NASCAR Highlights. What we do is every week we take the best moments of the race, we recreate that using telemetry data, and we offer it up to users so you can jump into that moment in time in the real race and play it out and see if you can change history. Or maybe you want to relive history. So last weekend's race, for example, Dale Jr. ran out of gas going into the last turn. Well, let's take you back a lap in time and see if you can make it and not run out of gas, and Dale Jr. might actually win that race. So we do that on a weekly basis. We're also taking all the paint schemes. If you're a NASCAR fan at all, you know every weekend these guys are running different sponsors, different paint schemes. We make all of those available now, so you can download those on a regular basis and keep updating the game.
For those who, for instance, purchased last year's version of the game, how much further have you been able to push the processing power of the old gen consoles?
Yeah, that's always the trick, right? When we're dealing with hardware that was designed maybe 8 years ago. There's not too many people watching this that have a PC that was designed 8 years ago. Everybody has contemporary hardware, so you're always trying to eke things out. And a lot of that is really, how do we fine-tune the physics model? So we've got 43 cars out there. That's incredibly hard. You play Gran Turismo, you've got maybe 6. We've got 43. We've got to calculate the physics, the AI, and all that. So if we get more and more efficient with that, then we're able to throw more horsepower at the graphics. So now we're actually pushing about 30 frames a second, where before we were about 20 frames a second, just by being more and more efficient. But man, we can't wait for that new hardware that's out there now, and we'll really surprise people.
And speaking of new hardware, just from a creative standpoint, what are your thoughts on VR? Sony's got the new Project Morpheus. What would that add to a NASCAR video game?
Yeah, racing games are fantastic for that type of thing. We do an awful lot of work right now with Oculus, and obviously Sony's just announced we'll be working with them as well. What's neat about a racing game is when you're in that cockpit in a VR environment, having that frame of reference of the car around you and then the outside world takes away a lot of the motion sickness that people feel with that technology, because you've got, like I said, you've got a frame of reference that locks you in. A racing game is fantastic. So Auto Club Revolution, another one of our franchises out there, Oculus Rift will be supported in that. So right out of the box, you'll download the game, you'll be able to do Oculus Rift, and I'm sure you'll see us working with Morpheus too pretty soon.